Okay, then. We're back. After getting booted off yet again, here we are. Hi.
2 hours later.
2 hours later. Crap. This has gotten comical at this point.
Oh, my God. All right.
Okay. All right.
We're going to be really loopy now. Not because we've been drinking or smoking.
It's 11 o'clock. It went, we got to be up in... Thanks to stupid daylight stinking stupid savings time, we got to be up in 5 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, where we last left our heroes was talking about timeshare nightmares. And we were talking about maintenance fees, and I think we got past that. So let's talk about some of the stories that you found.
Yeah, let's do that. It's not pretty. All right, this is a great story here that I'm sure you will absolutely love. This is courtesy of our friends, I put that in quotey marks, CBS. Chances are you've been approached on vacation to attend a timeshare presentation.
So many times.
One California couple who visited Puerto Vallarta says the salespeople took it too far. Pete and Susie High, H-I-G-H.
Hi.
Hi. Of Auburn, California.
I'm Susie. And I'm High. I want that name so bad. You have no idea.
From Hope to High. Pete and Susie High of Auburn, California said they offered 400...
Wait, there's an Auburn in California?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stupid California takes everything.
I think that one in California might have been around first. But anyway,
Doubt
not
it.
important.
But was it slaughtered
Say
first?
they offered... Okay. They were offered... This wasn't well written. They were offered $450 by Puerto Bahia Villas and Spa to attend what was supposed to be a 90-minute timeshare pitch. It turned into 8 excruciating hours.
8 hours? That's worse than Max.
Yeah, it's true. That was the start of the nightmare, Pete said. Susie said the salespeople were persuasive and they kept pushing us and pushing us. We kept saying no, and they'd say something else. When asked why they didn't leave, the couple says they were holding out for the $450. They say 6 hours in the presentation, completely unsolicited, Susie was served a glass of red wine, and Pete was given an already opened can of beer.
Well, they do that at a lot of places because they think you can't open the beer yourself.
He said he drank it because he was thirsty. Soon after, Susie said she started feeling sick and her husband appeared to be in a trance. I think Max might have picked up some cues from this story.
No. Oh, my gosh. I thought that was just a sketch. This actually happened?
No,
These poor
the
people.
sketch was based on this stuff.
Why is it that all of our sketches are based on real stories? That's so scary.
Because it
we
wouldn't
need
be
to put
funny.
a disclaimer.
It wouldn't be funny otherwise.
Based on a real story, yeah.
Anyway.
It's like our slumlord.
Next thing they knew, they were initialing page after page of a contract for a new timeshare. Rafael Koch is a former employee who sold timeshares at Puerto Bahia. He says, I feel dirty and ashamed.
You should.
Yep. He says he and other sales representatives were instructed to tell customers anything to close the deal. Koch even recalls salespeople pretending to be buyers and staging contract signings. As part of the fake celebration, he says champagne was passed out to everyone in the room, even non-drinkers. He confirmed that alcohol was served at these presentations. After 4 hours of not drinking and not eating, after half a beer, you're starting to feel buzzed. Mm-hmm. They purposely use alcohol to get people to a point where they can't think straight anymore. They're tired, they're exhausted, can't think straight. That's when you zero in like a vulture and take advantage of them, Koch said.
That can't be legal.
Well, KCAL 9, they're out of Los Angeles. The station's Curtis Ming traveled to Mexico to investigate how far Puerto Bahia goes to get vacationers' signatures. Profeco, Mexico's consumer protection agency, says they've received...
Which actually is better than ours here.
Yeah, it's disgusting and sad. But anyway, they say they've received numerous complaints about Puerto Bahia. The salespeople are very aggressive, said Gabriela Cervantes of Profeco. The process for canceling, in my experience, is not that easy with them. The day after the Highs signed for the timeshare, they went to Profeco's office in Puerto Vallarta, where they learned they had 5 days to get out of the deal. They also called the credit card company to explain what happened and canceled those cards. The couple hand-delivered a cancellation letter to Puerto Bahia, which Profeco wrote for them in Spanish. But once they got home, they began receiving dozens of collection calls threatening legal action if they didn't pay.
Mm-hmm.
Ming visited Puerto Bahia, which is a 30-minute cab drive north of Puerto Vallarta and tucked away in the jungle. I mean, it sounds like a fun place to go if you're not doing a timeshare.
Sounds amazing.
Salesperson Elizabeth Rocha told Ming alcohol is only served once people sign their contract as a celebration.
Okay.
Do you ever try to get people drunk to have them sign in? Ming said. No, Rocha replied. Do you think these people are making this up? Ming continued. Geez, I don't know. I'm not in their head. I cannot answer for you, Rocha said. Mm-hmm. Ming showed her the cancellation letter the Highs delivered to Puerto Bahia back in 2013.
I hate that they keep using an apostrophe incorrectly.
Yeah. And asked why they're still being asked to pay. Reminding her of the cancellation law in Mexico, Ming pressed her to fix it. Now that we brought this to your attention, will you please help these people? Rocha affirmed she would. Susie High soon after told Ming that this investigation did more to help them in 2 weeks than what the couple was able to do in 17 months. Investigative reporters can change things at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Back in the day when they actually did journalism, yes.
I remember when I was living, this is a side dish, when I was living in Atlanta, I shopped at Kroger a lot because that was the main grocery store there. And there was some kind of expose about Kroger.
The same one that got that poor black guy fired.
Yeah, that was long before Fred Meyer was purchased by Kroger.
Okay.
This was years before that. There was some kind of report on Channel 11 in Atlanta about the treatment of fish, and there was something to do with it. And then I walked into the grocery store the next day, and there's this sign in front of the fish. Do you know that we clean our fish and we do all this nice stuff to our fish, and we would never ever contaminate anybody? I mean, whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, the couple's relief.
That's when the press is used correctly.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to report things.
They're supposed to be the checks and balances part. And now they're just shills. They're just propaganda.
Yeah.
Sad.
The couple's relief was the same feeling Koch got leaving his job at Puerto Bahia after just 1 month. I feel dirty that I even participated in it, and if I could go to all the people I sold timeshares to, I would apologize to them.
Aw, he sounds like a sweet man.
Puerto Bahia did end up giving the Highs their $450.
Good.
Ming asked the couple if what they went through was worth the money. Susie High quickly and emphatically said, Hell no!
No.
No. No.
That's the best
line in a Mel Brooks movie
ever.
No.
No. For those of you who don't understand that reference, you're missing out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
So this next one, I think this includes that story of the Highs.
It
so
might. I'll skip
we're going
it,
to kind of...
If you've booked a trip to Las Vegas, a Florida vacation destination, or the Mexican Riviera, the odds are that upon checking into your hotel, you'll be offered anything from free breakfast, lunch, or dinner to Disney World tickets just for attending a 90-minute sales presentation. Oh, yes. If you agree by sheer magic, 90 minutes will morph into half a day or an evening and doesn't have to, but could, place a financial harness around your neck that will be difficult to remove if you sign their timeshare contract. For that's what they want you to buy, a vacation timeshare. This is well written.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kudos. Kudos to Dennis Beaver ESQ. Well, yeah, but well written. Right after signing the contract, or years later, most will come to realize that buying the timeshare was the worst financial mistake of their lives, says Scott Morse, Director of Operations at Resort Release. Oh, the Rockford, Illinois-based company rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. You do know that ratings from the Better Business Bureau, businesses pay for that.
Oh, I know.
If you don't pay the BBB, you're not listed.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way you can get a rating from the BBB is if you pay them.
Right.
Yeah.
This is why Spirit Airlines, the worst airline in the history of ever, and the basis for our Dispirited Airlines sketch, it's rated like what, a B? It's like it should be an F minus, but I guess they don't have those.
They pay them, yeah. Anyway, dedicated to helping owners, quote, become free from the never-ending expense that timeshare ownership means. Pardon my spitting. I'm trying to swallow. A timeshare is a property, typically in a resort condominium development, where buyers acquire the right to use a unit or similar accommodation for a specific period of time, typically a week or two once a year. Back when this first started, it really was a great idea.
Yeah.
But then it became...
Then the greed kicked in.
Yeah. So, each condo will have many owners, each acquiring a deed for their fractional interest. With other properties, a buyer has a right to use the property but does not actually own a share of it. Finally, some timeshare companies just sell points, which is the only experience I've ever had. They sell points that may be used at properties all over the world.
That's the kind of thing we took advantage of on this vacation.
Yeah, and that's the only one I've been exposed to.
Right.
Yeah. Worldwide, over 20 million people own timeshares, according to market research from who cares. Well, there can be valid reasons to own one, such as forcing yourself to take a vacation with the family as you pay to use your little piece of paradise. At some point, many owners will regret ever hearing the word
timeshare.
If you tend to speak like a 2-year-old when every word uttered is no, then it's probably safe for you to attend a timeshare presentation. I'm raising my hand way over my head. No. You know why? Because I train dogs. No. I don't do the leave it nonsense. My word is no. But for anyone else, the chance at a free lunch or a theme park ticket may not be worth spending hours of your time listening to sales claims such as, it's a great investment, which will increase in value. Never does.
It never does.
Beat ever-increasing hotel rates. Don't. Yield family fun and can be left to your heirs. B to the S. Statements such as those are red flags, says Moores, because the reality is something else entirely. Really, you can leave timeshares? Yeah. One of the many lies is that these are investments and can be sold for more than what you paid for.
That doesn't happen.
No, it's just like a car. The minute you drive it off the lot, it's worth half. This is complete nonsense, as they are never a financial investment. They are a bottomless pit into which you pour money forever, like a boat, and most have no resale value, like a fish tank. With their never-ending, or a waterbed, with their never-ending yearly maintenance fees, they become the most expensive hotel rooms you could ever book. I mean, it costs us $200 just to check in.
Right.
To a hotel room that wouldn't have cost us $200.
Right.
In fact, some owners are willing to give them away in order to stop paying these fees, he points out, adding, just search buy my timeshare for $1. We did. And he's right. Mm-hmm. Morse recognizes that for certain families, a timeshare can become an investment in memories, its value found in locking a family with young children into taking a vacation. The reasoning goes along these lines. We paid $15,000 for it, are hit with $2,500 in yearly maintenance and tax expenses, so we have to use it. I would rather buy an RV.
Yeah, 2 years of that, you can buy yourself a decent RV.
Seriously. And,
RV spots are a lot cheaper.
And you've got a bug-out van when the zombie apocalypse hits. So,
well, there you go.
Win.
I mean, what happens when the zombie apocalypse hits and you're at, in your luxury hotel?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
You're screwed. Yeah.
Front desk. There's some zombies approaching me.
Zombies. I'm just telling you. I'd rather be hit with the podunk zombies than the uppity ones. Okay. We asked Morse, but what happens when the kids are off to college and they no longer take a family vacation? His answer is one of the key reasons that timeshares can become a horrible waste of money. We have clients who have not used their timeshares for years. Yet the maintenance fees, which can run thousands of dollars a year, continue. Mm-hmm. It's like boats. When you moor a boat, it's like it's just a hole in the water that you sink money into. Some time ago, my law office was contacted by two couples who went through frightening similar experiences, saying they were held against their will, victims of duress, by the same Las Vegas timeshare developer. Okay, so...
It does not mention the name of the Las Vegas developer.
Okay.
I'm just going to cut to the chase on that.
I'm trying to see if this is the same story we just shared. One couple was in their mid-70s, not the same guy. Dale, a Vietnam veteran who flew F-4 Phantoms, and his wife June, who has dementia. Oh, my God. How low can you sink?
Well, the one that the highs went to was in Puerto Vallarta, so it wouldn't be the same company.
But seriously,
I know.
70s, dementia. Mm-hmm. It's like selling the Bidens a timeshare at this point. Or trying to convince the American people that Biden's the president.
Oh, boy.
He could go both ways. They had owned a Vegas timeshare for several years, but seldom are able to use it as the dates they wanted were almost always booked up. Durr.
Of course.
Finally, they got lucky and a room was available. When checking into their timeshare hotel, they asked if there was a way to lower the $2,500 yearly maintenance fee. Keep in mind, they never got to use it up until this point. They were directed to speak with Alex, a sales representative. It was the beginning of a nightmare.
Ominous music begins.
Where they were mentally... and it seemed physically held captive for hours. That's exactly how I felt when we went to that one in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt.
They didn't let us go. I mean,
They said 90 minutes, but like 3 hours in, it's like, I'm hungry. Are you going to feed us? I'm thirsty. Can I have some water?
Yeah.
Yeah. For more than 4 hours, we were yelled at. Not even allowed to use the bathroom until we had purchased a new timeshare for over $10,000, including closing costs of $2,800 put on a credit card, which I kept telling them we did not want. Dale told us tearfully. Remember, dude's 70. Wife has dementia. These are vultures. I mean, this is just evil. Do these things really happen? You better believe it, Moore says, adding that the elderly and people in poor health are often targets. Yeah, they saw me coming. I walk in with a cane. They're like,
well, it's also, I mean, to their credit, I think the company that was trying to sell us a timeshare last weekend, there was an age limit of, I think, 65, something like that.
But they also wanted my tax returns. I'm like, oh, golly gee willikers, I'm a contractor. I have no proof of my income. Golly, that was such a silly thing I said. Telling the truth on the application.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
What's really funny, though, is when I flat out asked, so what you're telling me is if I had lied, we would have been eligible and we would have been stuck in this presentation. But since I told the truth, and he was like, looked around, yeah. That's kind of what he did.
I think that they usually don't get trapped like that. So it's like, well, you might. How do I get out? All right, I'll tell them the truth. Fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, about the couple
just a
here.
lowly tutor. Okay.
The old couple.
So do these things really happen? You better believe it. They are terrified of getting up and walking out. They are truly paralyzed with fear. Of what? We would have liked to have given you the timeshare industry's comment on the situation and the timeshare business in general, but despite several voicemails and email requests to the top PR representative at the American Resort Development Association, one of the nation's leading trade groups, I never received a response. Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
ColorMeSurprise.com.
Yeah, we actually do own that.
We know. I know.
We left voicemails for the Las Vegas developers media contact person and their general counsel, never receiving a call back either. But the next day, Dale and June got an email stating, "We are canceling the contract and refunding your payments." I need a button for that. Do I have a button for that?
As it would turn out, you have a button for that.
I have a button for that. It's the same story at the same property for the other couple who contacted my office, and their story stands as a perfect example of people who should stay light years away from timeshare presentations. 6th grade teacher Rex and his hairstyle wife June. Rex and June.
Yeah, they already don't qualify.
Sound like synonyms to me. Are both in their early 40s. They're a very nice couple, which can sometimes be a problem. That was our problem. We're very nice, super nice. I can't say no, which is why we bought the timeshare in the first place years ago, June admitted. Yeah, because we met a couple that already were owners.
Yeah.
And yet they still had to go through a presentation because they wanted them to upgrade. And they were like, yeah, we're not doing this. But we have to go through this or else we have to pay $45 a night for parking.
Right.
Which is obscene. We didn't want to spend any more money on it, but they kept us for hours in the sales room. We both were in tears and not allowed to leave until we purchased $15,000 worth of points and closing costs of $3,400. Rex sat there next to his wife, obviously embarrassed, tears running down his cheeks. Try that on a ginger. I dare you.
She's looking at me while she's saying it. I ain't gonna try it.
Try that
I know her.
on a ginger.
I know what
they did. Jim was like, yeah, I'm gonna take out, we can sell the car, I'll call my mom and take a loan. I'm like, hi. Ginger here. H to the E to the double hockey sticks to the N to the O. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And we never used the show tickets we got.
Well, no, because, like, Max's gig, it's like, you know, a $20 surcharge and 5-drink minimum and this and that. It's like, these aren't free tickets. Right. These tickets actually cost more than if we were to just buy the damn tickets. Okay, we were able to get their contract canceled as well, but no refund of the $3,400. They were happy just to be free of the timeshare. We can't tell you who the bad guys are, as a non-disclosure agreement was required in the settlement. They should do what you did earlier, where it's like, you know, it rhymes with chase. It was so subtle. Just one thing my husband
It's not the company I used to work for. I can't tell what they are, but they rhyme with Noogle.
My husband is nothing but subtle. You know, like Carclay. Yeah, okay.
In many cases, oh man, you make me think about them.
Yeah.
They're vile and evil and rotten, stinky and smelly.
In many cases, people smelly. In many cases, people have been kept in a room for over 10 hours, not given water, not eaten. They're exhausted and sign contracts just to get out of there. Honey, sweetie, boo-boo, darling. No, just see. That is why they don't let gingers in on these things.
Especially gingers who pack.
It would just take one of me in a room full of people, and I'd be like, guys, dudes, come on, they haven't given us water, let's go. Freedom! Just saying.
Yeah.
We have met people, okay, I think they mean who. We have met people, I'm going to put in the word who, more than what their house is worth. It is so scary. No, because they really do. They're like, well, do you have anybody you can borrow from? Do you have any credit cards? They're literally trying to get people.
They're hounding you for your financial information.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
And they're literally asking you. It's crazy. Of course, you're probably thinking, if this is going on, why aren't criminal complaints being filed?
That is a good question.
While Las Vegas does have a competent police department, no, they don't. October 1st. Sorry, I got something in my throat.
He's the governor now. You better deal with that.
Shooters. Oh, man, I really hate it when I get something stuck like in my throat. Yeah. We discovered a shocking lack of interest when the right people were contacted. Oh, no, you need to talk with Nevada's real estate department, we were told repeatedly and did, only to discover a similar lack of concern. Why? Could it be a 5-letter word spelled Money? Timeshare is a big business in Sin City.
It is huge. I estimate that roughly 10 to 12% of the people who are in Vegas vacationing are involved in a timeshare in some way, shape, or form.
Pretty substantial timeshares, yeah.
Yeah, either they own timeshares or they're, taking advantage of a free room in order to sit through a timeshare, so they wind up getting one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's huge business.
So what is the bottom line for consumers if you're presented the opportunity to attend a sales presentation tempted by the free breakfast or other rewards, which are never free, by the way? Understand before going in that you're going to meet some of the world's best salespeople who will, as Moore says, appeal to the fact that you have probably fallen in love with the resort and your emotions will cloud reason as the pressure mounts to buy today. They do not want you to consult with your financial advisor or lawyer and will shower you with fairy dust extra points to get your signature on their contract. I'm surprised that they don't employ, like, Chippendales to come in. And
I probably would if I owned the thing. A bunch of Thunder from Down Under guys come in.
Buying a timeshare is an emotional experience, and if you've already bought one, upon returning home, immediately meet with your financial advisor or lawyer, listen to their advice. If they tell you to cancel, then follow the specific method outlined in your contract. But it gets even worse. Stay tuned, because in a future story, we'll look at how scammers steal millions of dollars from timeshare owners, singing the sweetest song they could ever imagine hearing. We have a buyer for your Mexican timeshare.
I was unable to find that article in question. So I don't know how.
Say 8 personal finance plan article was written, yada yada. Yeah, they don't have a link to it. That's a silly thing to do.
So I wasn't able to find it. So we're going to leave it at that. The other article I found, it doesn't have a link anymore. It disappeared. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. We give you 3 nightmare stories and our own. And a fictional one, which is based on the factual one.
Which is based on a real story. I did not realize that was based on a real story. They actually drugged.
They drugged.
That's a little bit terrifying.
They drugged their alcohol, yeah. It's hilarious.
A little bit terrifying. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. For those of you who are coming in after the fact, we'll cobble these together. Excuse the chewing of the bone, but, once Aaliyah is focused in on something, we just don't want to interrupt that.
Right. I mean, these sketches with her, they're based on a true story.
They are literally based on this dog's person. We have an ADD doggy, so it used to be attention deficit disorder. It is attention deficit doggy in this household. Mm-hmm. Puppy's sound asleep, though. She's had a long day.
Sadie is an interesting case. She's a real cutie pie. Yeah. I think she's going to grow up to be a beautiful doggy, and she has a sweet personality. She doesn't have the same expressive eyeballs that Aaliyah has.
I think she does. You just don't see it as much. I mean, imagine that you had a Menson born to someone with Downs.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we got going on here. Mm. They're great playmates. You know, they're really cute together.
They're good friends.
They're very dependent on. I mean, so needy. But Sadie is smart, and Aaliyah's pretty.
It's going to be interesting how the dynamic is going to shift when Sadie becomes the same size, and then, based on what we think is true, bigger than Aaliyah.
I'm pretty sure she's going to be bigger. Just looking at her paws, and she's only a few weeks old, whereas Allie is going to be hitting a year here soon.
Yeah, she's pretty much reached her full size.
Yeah, and she's not that big. I mean,
no, she's not.
Smaller than Abby was.
I can pick her up still.
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do it to get her in the car the other day.
Say 45, maybe 50 pounds.
Yeah,
tops?
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the puppy is about a third of that.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Sadie's going to get a little bit bigger, just based on her paws. She's got monster paws. She's got like snowshoes. And I don't think Allie understands, because Allie does this thing, it's called chicken legging, which is a dirty, dirty trick that I'm not sure. I know she didn't learn it from anywhere. It's just something she does, but it's a way to bring down another dog.
Yeah,
and I think
you chomp on one of their hind legs and they
pull them down.
Pull them down.
And then she also grabs her by her collar. I think Allie's going to be in for a big surprise when she realizes, oh, wait, this dog I've been bullying all this time is now bigger than me. And Sadie's vicious.
Sadie doesn't hold back.
Yeah, she is vicious.
Sadie's amazing.
So, yeah, it'll be an interesting dynamic. We'll try not to let them kill each other. I mean, right now, we don't have food issues. We don't have, once in a blue moon, Ellie will get a little growly if she's got a really juicy part of a bone or something. But for the most part, I mean, they eat off the same snuffle maps.
Yeah. They do have different eating so
the little one,
styles.
We're trying to get her a size so she'll eat, because she's a wanderer. She's like Max. She wants to nibble a little bit, wander around for a bit, take in the world, come back and nibble a little bit more.
Takes a leisurely pace.
Yeah, whereas Allie just... yeah, and it's gone. So we have to
separate them.
Separate them, because otherwise the little one will never get any food. So
we're trying to do right by these little doggies.
We're trying to. I mean, Allie, she's a special needs doggie.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that. I rescued her from a bad situation. I'm in it now. I have to be a good doggy mommy. I'm doing the best I can, but there are days. There are days when I understand why certain animals eat their young. I'm just going to put that out there. So pray for us if you're listening. Pray for us and our doggies. And it's been fun. I mean, having to restart 3 times wasn't a blast, but hopefully y'all stuck in and hung out and tuned in and all the good stuff. And we'll be seeing you next week. Have an amazing week.
We love yous. God bless.
Loved you. God bless. We got a lot more in stuff. Holy moly, do we have more? I mean, we even barely touched on this week's show because of all the technical difficulties, but we have a lot in store for you. Make sure you check out the Holy Crap video. It's already up. It's on Rumble. It's on BitChute.
And please buy our stuff.
Buy our stuff. We have new designs coming up. We have new designs we uploaded just today. Check us out. Head on over to counterculturewise.com, and we will see you next week.
Counterculture-Wise is a Stormcat production.
Thank you for joining our growing family of listeners. All links from the show are available on our website, counterculturewise.com. Find our archives on any of your favorite podcast hosts.
We engage in satire, commentary, and generally laugh at the ridiculousness of our crumbling society. Our only medical or financial advice is to not follow any financial or medical advice given by podcasters.
Our animations, interviews, Holy Crap segment, and other videos are put out on BitChute and Rumble, and only in part on YouTube because they hate free speech.
Our show is entirely funded by listeners like you. Visit our ever-expanding merch store or our Subscribe Star, where you can get outtakes, extra videos, and sneak peeks.
If you would like to be a guest on our program, feel free to contact us via our website. Just click on the link at the top that says, Be a Guest on Our Show.
For more fun and cat pics, please visit our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For complaints about our show, please fill out the ID10T form on our website, and we will give it the attention it deserves.
Meanwhile, no matter how cruel the world may be around you, always remember the importance of kindness. Be kind to each other, be kind to animals, and be kind to yourself. See you next week.